We are back with the Talk with ABC for our final segment of the day. Wow, I can't believe we're already at the final segment. Oh boy, football. Okay, where do we hold on? Let me get this away. All right, there we go. Football. Good God. Where do I begin? Yep, we got to talk about it, don't we? All right. I avoided talking about this last week because I wanted more information to come out first. Seems that not much has, other than what we all expected. John Gruden. Jesus, man. Oh boy. I think Derek Carr's interview sums this up better than I could. If you haven't seen it, go watch that. It's a really good response on his part. Basically, I'm not gonna waste your time. If you probably know what this story is. If you don't, look it up. You'll see it. Basically, Gruden and the president of football operations, or former president of football operations, for the Washington football team, Bruce Allen, and his brother Jay Gruden exchanged a lot of, let's call it, vulgar, offensive emails back and forth relating to the commissioner, women, players of different sexuality. It was a whole, basically all the no things you can't do nowadays. So Gruden was forced to resign. Bruce and the Washington football team is once again revealed as the horrible organization that we all know it to be. Actually, and this is the funny part, I'm not going off on Gruden on this. No. Gruden, no. Washington, you do not get to get off scot-free because of Gruden. No. I am going at you with a flamethrower for this. Holy Lord. I've been on record saying this before, that this organization is honestly worse than the Sabres. I never thought I'd say that, but this is an organization that's actually worse than the Buffalo Sabres. Oh my God. The amount of legal and backstabbing stuff. If you read some of those emails and you see what's been going on with this football team over the years, a lot of the NFL attorneys knew all about this and they did nothing. I don't think I'm allowed to go into certain details on this show. Basically, a lot of it is disgusting. A lot of it has to do with the treatment of female staff, their cheerleaders, especially. A lot of it has to do with firing someone because they were dealing with substance abuse in the past as an excuse, and attacking him in the Washington Post. We all know it's you, Dan. Dan Snyder using the Washington Post to attack people he doesn't like, censoring articles they don't like about the team. It's a third world. That organization is the depiction of a third world country dictatorship, and it's a nightmare, honestly. And it's a black eye on the rest of the league. Here's the best part, though. So this is the part that I'm going to really go after them for. Let me get this straight. All of this comes out. All of this, the emails, all this stuff is coming again. The bad press is attacking you again. Dan Snyder sits there probably like this and stews. How can we remove this negative press? How can we get some good press out there for us? Find me some good press. I want the good press. Well, you know what? Some random intern in that boardroom. I would have loved to have been a fly on a wall during this discussion, but this is hilarious to me. Honestly, it's sad and really terrible, but I'm going after you for this, Dan. Oh, boy. Anyone remember Sean Taylor? Superstar safety for Washington a few years, was it like 10 years ago now? He tragically died. I think he was only about like 28. He was a young, 26 maybe. He was a young guy. And he was on his way to superstardom, but he was killed. And it was horrible. It was a tragic thing. So what does the Washington football team do? Well, they decide, you know what? Here's a way to get good press. Everybody loves Sean Taylor. Let's retire his number this week. Out of nowhere, this announcement comes up. They're retiring his number this week. If anybody watched that Washington Chiefs game and watched that ceremony, that was the most quickly slapped together, poor excuse of a ceremony. You took a man's memory, a man's life, a man who meant so much to your organization, and you used it as a PR stunt. You want to know how I know it was a PR stunt and that this wasn't like a well thought out thing? His own family didn't even know this was happening until about 5 days before. His own brother made a statement saying he didn't know until 3 days before it happened. Are you kidding me, Washington? That this is what you're doing? And then to add insult to injury, you bring a bunch of VIPs onto this chained off area with it where his number is painted into the ground as in bonds. You let these people on stand on this area, which is ludicrous to begin with, and then you bring in that bum Jackson Mahomes, Patrick's brother, to do a freaking TikTok on top of his basically his remembrance memorial for some clicks. You are lucky that most of the NFL fan base hates Jackson Mahomes more than you right now. Oh, good God, this organization. They are literally just did this to try to get some of the bad press off their backs. And I really hope that sports media doesn't let that happen. I really hope they do. It seems like they're going to, but I really hope they don't. Please keep hammering this organization. Dan Snyder does not belong as an owner in the NFL. Get this man out of the NFL. Get this man out of sports. Get this man away from this industry. I don't care what you have to do. And, now you've backed yourself into a corner. You didn't remove him when you had a chance. Now he's gobbled up all the minority owners and he owns like this massive majority of the team. He says he's passed down power to his wife and to other sources, so he's not fully involved in this anymore. That's crap. We all know you're still pulling strings up there, Dan. Oh, dear God. I'm going to stop myself before I say something I really regret, but get this man out of the NFL, please. Let's move on. Deshaun Watson. You might finally get your wish and get traded out of Houston. Congratulations, my friend. You may finally get out of Houston. The Dolphins have hit the panic button. You want to know why? Well, they're 1-5. They just lost to a team that's lost its last 20 games straight. Oh, yeah. And, hey, Miami. Remember last year when you traded up with Philly to get Jalen Waddle? Remember that? Yeah. Guess who owns your first-round pick this year? Philly. Oh, Miami. Well played. Tua is not the problem on this team. I'm going to throw that out there. I'm not a fan of Tua, believe me. I've been decrying him since the draft. Not a fan of Tua. But he is not the problem. I said this with Ben Simmons. He is not the problem, but he is a problem. You need to sort that out. Bringing in Deshaun Watson does not fix your O-line. Bringing in Deshaun Watson does not fix the massive regression from your defense. Seriously, Brian Flores, what is going on? It seems like the Dolphins are back to tank mode, even though they don't even have their first round pick. I don't get it. This was a team that I thought was going to be a wild card team this year, and they're just. I don't get it. Dolphins, figure it out. And you should have made. And if it wasn't for the allegations, you would have made this Watson trade sooner. I know, but now it's a desperation heap. We'll see if the NFL tries anything wacky. Let me put it this way: if the NFL tries to suspend Watson now, it's going to be really weird. Honestly, I wouldn't even do it at that point. I don't even think it's worth it. All of his crimes are civil. There's no reason to suspend him unless the courts actually get something to stick. Zach Ertz, speaking of the Eagles, Zach Ertz now traded. So they're tanking. Okay, good job, Philly. That's what you need to do. Like Dallas Goedert, get some more PT. Let him be the number one tight end. You trade Ertz, give him a chance in Arizona. It seems like a funky fit to me. Arizona doesn't really use tight ends, but who knows? Maybe with Ertz, He can be a nice safety valve for Kyler. Was there anything I wanted to really recap from this past week? Crash at the Jet. Not really, not really. The Chiefs look like frauds. They just bailed out by high-end talent. Oh, the poor Browns. Okay. You're back to your sadness, but it's not for the reasons you expect. It's not just because you suck. It's just because of a massive amount of injuries. You're now starting to Ernest Johnson and Case Keenum at running back and quarterback this Thursday night, or today, I actually should say, because you don't have anybody else. It's gonna be a wacky game tonight. Chargers Ravens. This is a nothing game. Don't focus too much on this. Why do I say this? Yes, it's not a good look that the Chargers got blown out, but hear me out on this for a second. Every year, championship contending teams have one of those games. I don't think I have the actual. I had a dang. I thought I had a thing that brought it up, but yes, mainly all these championship contending teams have that game where everybody thinks they're frauds. The Chiefs had it last year against, might have been the Chargers actually, or was a weird team. The Patriots will have that when they were a dynasty, had that game every year where they got clocked by. They lost 16-0 with Buffalo the year they won the Super Bowl. They lost 50 something to like 14 the one year against the Chiefs. The Seahawks the year they won the Super Bowl got blown out by a team. It happens, big team, you adjust and you move forward. Now, if you don't adjust, that's a problem. Baltimore, not jumping off of Lamar hate yet. He's got some more to prove, but he's looking better. I just don't trust this team. I think they're gonna get to the playoffs and then they're gonna get smacked first round because Lamar can't carry the team with his arm. I sadly think that's gonna be the case for them. Bills. I'd like to say Dawson Knox and Chase Claypool. I hate you both right now because neither of you could catch one more reception. I lost in fantasy this week to a kicker. Shout out to Tyler Bass for the Buffalo Bills. You suck. Okay. But Bills, just get your defense a little bit together and maybe some better play calling on the goal line and you'll be fine. Again, nothing game here. Cowboys Patriots. Somehow this was the most watched game this year. It's kind of like the brand name. It's kind of why, I think maybe the Knicks and the Lakers or the Knicks and the Celtics is the most watched game, even if they're not the two best teams. Dallas. Let me bring this up for you, Dallas. This should not have been a close game. I've been hard on the Cowboys in the past, but I love this roster. I would have liked it more if Jalen Smith was still there, but I understand why you moved on from him, but I would like to have kept him. I think he still could have been good for you. Here's the thing. This roster is the perfect depiction of the modern football team, but you are not going anywhere with Mike McCarthy as your head coach. You'll make the playoffs. You'll probably make the division round. You may even make the NFC Championship. You're going to lose because of Mike McCarthy. You don't have a prime Aaron Rodgers. Dak's great, but he's not the prime Aaron Rodgers Mike McCarthy needs to carry him to a championship. And with that and some audio issues aside, hopefully enough audio is up there so you guys can actually enjoy all my segments today. Thank you all very much for watching this edition of the Talk with AVC. I will be back next week, same time, to delight you all with my great takes once again. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.